February is turning out to be a packed month in terms of game releases. Of course, we already touched on Sifu, but there's some heavy hitters coming out this month, like Horizon Forbidden West, Dying Light 2, and the highly anticipated Elden Ring. Maybe we'll do something with that. Hint, hint. Offerings for every game genre are on the menu this month, and if you're a fighting game fan like me, you're probably interested in SNK's offering for this month, the King of Fighters 15, which promises to shatter all expectations. I think it's coming out... Shit, it's out now. So some digital versions of 15 come with 3-day early access when purchased, which is why you're seeing gameplay of it already out in the wild on Twitch and YouTube. I opted for the Omega Edition because I love me some art books. So I gotta wait until the 17th, but that's cool. It just gives me more time to do a video to celebrate the occasion. KOF 15 is all about shattering all expectations. But you can't be a long-running series without doing that at least a couple of times. So here's my list for the top 5 times KOF shattered all expectations. Number 5. KOF Maximum Impact Series. 2D fighting games going full 3D isn't new. Street Fighter did it, Mortal Kombat did it, and SNK did it with Fatal Fury and Samurai Showdown respectively. Oh, and then there's Bariki 1 as well. But good luck finding somebody outside of Japan that played that thing on the original hardware. Unfortunately, these games are mixed ass bad, ranging to mid with Wild Ambition to abysmal like everything with Samurai Showdown. And Bariki 1 is so rare it may as well not even exist. Most companies pack it up after a string of misses, but SNK gave it one more shot, and it paid off. Kinda. The Maximum Impact series is goofy as hell. The combat system plays it fast and loose with combos, and move priority is just going nuts. Maximum Impact 2, or KOF 2006 in the States, is even crazier than the first in regard to its roster and the alternate costumes, or another costumes. Most of them ranging from decent to cringe to fucking unhinged. There was a third game called Regulation A that added Ash Crimson and a few other tweaks, but it never left Japan. Definitely track down a copy of Maximum Impact 06 if you're interested. Just know they never made Mainstage Evo for a reason. Number 4. KOF 12 and 13. As the 7th console generation, HD systems are becoming the standard. Street Fighter IV set the stage for what classic-style fighting games could look like on the new hardware. 2.5D was the order of the day for anything that wasn't Tekken, Soul Calibur, or Virtua Fighter. Everyone expected SNK to do another Maximum Impact since prior to 12 they put out another 3D Samurai Showdown game, Sin, on the Xbox 360. It was atrocious. Luckily, they opted for high-quality sprites. SNK has never been a slouch when it comes to sprite work. They have produced some of the most visually stunning work in the industry, especially for KOF. Hell, sometimes I just Google backgrounds from SNK games just for fun. But 12 and 13 take it to a whole other level. My god, just look at this shit. Gameplay is top-notch too, at least in 13. 12 was baby's first HD sprite game, clearly a test run for 13. Even though SNK would go with 2.5D for KOF 14 and 15, it's amazing what companies can do with sprites in the modern era. Definitely pick up KOF 13 on Steam if you haven't already. It's a high-quality port of a high-quality game. Number 3. KOF 98. Everyone is here. Smash Brothers might have popularized that, but SNK did it first. KOF 98 is a dream match game. That means any characters that are canonically dead are back. Which basically means all the Orochi people and Rugal. Dead people aren't the only ones coming back to 98. It also brings us the return of the American sports team, Haidern, Saishu Kusanagi, and Takuma Sakazaki. The Ultimate Match version takes it one step further by adding the boss team from KOF 97. 98 is also one of the most beloved entries in the series in terms of gameplay, making it a must-play for any fan of the genre. And now for something completely different. Number 2. KOF 99. From the beginning, KOF had a storyline dealing with Orochi, a powerful deity who wished to eradicate humanity in order to protect nature. Eventually, Orochi and all of his followers are defeated by Kyo Kusanagi and his team. Usually in this era, he's paired with Benimaru and Goro. In the final battle against Orochi, he was paired with Chizuru and Iori, respectively. Everything that began in 94 ended in 97. 98 was a dream match game like we previously discussed, and such there wasn't a storyline to follow. The gameplay was also refined, but not too drastically different from the previous titles. The sky was the limit for what the next era of KOF could be. Clones. They went with clones. KOF 99 is way different from everything that came before. For starters, Kyo is no longer the protagonist. He's there and he's a major character. He's the guy they're cloning all these motherfuckers from. But for now, the new protagonist is everyone's favorite leather daddy, K-Dash. An amnesiac with Kyo's DNA spliced into him. Another thing to note is that the storyline is tonally different. We went from fighting mythological deities and ancient blood rivalries in the Orochi saga to full-on sci-fi in the Nest's Chronicles. Nest is a shadowy and powerful organization operating from a high-tech space station with goals of world domination via a Kyo clone army. And those are just the broad strokes. I don't have the time or energy to do a complete breakdown. Not that it would help. The translations have just as much English as the previous entries, and the endings move at a breakneck pace. Good luck figuring this shit out without a wiki. Lastly is the new Striker system. You play any game from the Versus series, then congrats, you know how the Strikers work and how they function. There's a main difference between the two, as assists can be called whenever you want if they're off cooldown, and any member of your team that isn't actively fighting can be used. In 99, you only have one Striker, the person in the 4th slot for your team. You also have a limited amount of uses for your Striker. Burn them all up, and no more until the next stage. Strikers were a staple of the NES era games, except for 2002, which was another Dream Match game. SNK would change it up again with the multi-shift system when they bought in Ash Crimson. 99 was the start of a lot of traditions that the series became known for over time. Speaking of traditions, number 1, KOF 94. It all started in 94. In the 90s, SNK had managed to grow a nice stable of IPs, Fatal Fury, Art of Fighting, Ikari Warriors, and Psycho Soldier. One day, SNK tried to develop a crossover beat-em-up between Fatal Fury and Art of Fighting, but it fell through, and eventually they spun it off into the 3-on-3 fighting game we all know and love today. This was a groundbreaking idea that put the industry on its head. Crossovers, 3-on-3 fighting, all the shit we take for granted today with Smash, the Versus series, BlazBlue Tag, or any other crossover in gaming would not be what it is today if not for KOF 94. So put some respect on its name. And when you're done, play KOF 98, 2002, or 13. 94 is kinda rough.